All right, you guys, it's time for my episode 10 review for Survivor Season 42. Overall, I thought this was a very solid episode and very enjoyable episode. I felt like the boot was kind of telegraphed at the beginning because already I was thinking Hai was probably likely to get booted, but the fact that he was so cocky, again, just shows the recurrent pattern of anytime you're cocky in Survivor, then you're at huge risk. But definitely my favorite thing from this episode, I think, was Lindsay really having kind of a lot more exposure this episode, winning both the reward and the immunity challenge. I really feel like this could be the start of a good winner progression for her. I've already had her kind of high on my tier list as before, and this kind of confirmed for me that she's still a very, very viable winner pick. So that was definitely very nice for me to see, and also it was just nice to get to know Lindsay a little bit more in this episode. Let's check out Reddit for some funny posts or reactions. So this one's titled, "What Dictated the Vote?" And apparently Hai was interviewed by Entertainment Weekly, and I had my numbers in place and everyone was set to vote out Jonathan. What single-handedly swayed the vote was Jonathan's monkey run. Everyone witnessed this raw animalistic performance and were so moved by it that they refused to vote him out. Obviously he's trolling here, but having that monkey run in the episode was definitely a very interesting choice to leave in the edit, and I really enjoyed it. It was just fun to watch. It was so random. So it's something that I really enjoy seeing in Survivor, just random camp life, things like that. This is the Survivor 42 day after discussion. All gameplay and peripherals aside, Omar smiling at the camera and Marianne's fist pump after Jonathan said he understood the analogy were two of the cutest Survivor moments in a long time. Is anyone else starting to feel like Omar is not the winner, but is the final boss that the winner has to take out? Just feels like they're really building him up with still a few rounds to go. Time to board the Wednesday hype train. I've been calling this for the last several episodes. Lindsay is legit. She is a top tier winner pick at this point. This guy, Jonathan, having just lost a challenge and on the cusp of being voted out. Anyone want to see my monkey run? That's probably what saved him. That was some galaxy brain strategy mere mortals can only begin to understand, LOL. But regardless of whether or not it was good, bad, or neutral strategy, I enjoyed seeing his goofy side and not taking himself super seriously. Honestly, and I think it is good strategy too, because it kind of disarms people, makes you feel like less of a threat. They don't think you're being as paranoid or crazy, and it's just kind of fun to see and to do probably for him. So honestly, I think it was good strategy. A breakout episode for Lindsay. I never win anything, haha. Lindsay 5 minutes later wins reward challenge. Also Lindsay wins immunity challenge. If she can orchestrate a Drea blindside, she has a serious shot of winning the game. I think everybody else is starting to come to the realization that she is a serious winner threat. She has some serious equity in terms of her chance of winning this season. The Survivor Trinity coming in full force this season. Strategic, Omar, social, Mike, and physical, Jonathan. I love it. It's totally true. Totally true. With the new era, I feel like we could add advantages with Drea. Oh, I do want to say that Lindsay consistently has been so good in challenges. She's always been basically swimming as fast as Jonathan, and every single time it's like her and Jonathan at the end. So she is a super strong challenge competitor. That's something I forgot to mention earlier. I can't be the only one noticing this. Jeff, live tribals, analogies. The overabundance of analogies for players to get additional screen time. I think they all know that analogies is how you get more screen time on Survivor. People are really going hard on the analogies, so we're getting a ton of that these past few seasons. My amulet, I feel it growing more powerful. Exactly, Lindsay, time to take out Drea. Get that hidden immunity idol. I'm impressed by Marianne's recovery. To our knowledge, her name is no longer being passed around. Her allies were outraged at the prospect of her safety being in jeopardy. She has an idol. I don't see a crystal clear path for her to the end, but she certainly has a shot, which I wouldn't have imagined a few weeks ago. And I agree with this. I've been putting her in my D tier for Survivor winner potentials. For her, she's still definitely very low for me. I think given that she has had an idol now, and a lot of people really do think she still has some chance at winning, I probably will increase her a little bit to the C tier. But she really has not been getting a ton of screen time anymore, and I think that would just be atypical for a winner at this point. She's not being targeted because she's not taken seriously as a threat to win the game, which could be their fatal mistake, is what this guy says. I think she could articulate her case well at Final Tribal. This cast is so good. This may be my most favorite recent cast. Everyone has such a distinct personality and it reflects on their gameplay, which makes this a joy to watch. Everyone has also had their chance to shine, and this episode was a blast to watch. Totally agree. There's a Reddit link later that really shows how many confessionals everybody has had, and it's really been a very balanced edit, which I think is been a huge benefit to this season. Oh, it's the very next one. So Survivor 42, episode 10, Confessional Count. So if you look here, you can see that Mike has 37. Jonathan only has 19, surprisingly, but he obviously is a huge presence in the game. Lindsay, 19. Marianne, 27. Omar, 32. Drea, 28. Romeo, 21. And even these people who were recently voted out, it's just been such a balanced edit across the board. And this is something that we don't see in a lot of previous seasons. They've had very lopsided edits in the past. And this is why this season's so exciting, because with such a balanced edit, there's so many more people who could potentially be winners. Queen Lindsay with her highest to date, she only keeps going on up as she should. Her Erica trajectory is upon us. So Perfect Game Watch, Final 7. This is a guy who posts and says who's still eligible for getting a perfect game, which means no votes against you, and then 100% vote rate in Final Tribal, receiving all the jury's votes. Apparently, the only two people still in contention are Drea and Omar. Interestingly, Lindsay would be in contention, but Roxroy did that random vote for her. So she was taken out in the merge episode from contention. But otherwise, these two people are definitely still in contention, which is interesting. So hidden immunity idols just aren't hidden anymore? Pretty much. They want players to find idols and advantages. Jeff even said as much when he re-hid the advantage on the sit-out bench. Yeah, honestly, I feel like they need to do a little bit better of a job hiding advantages. I know they want to get them back in the game, to spice up the game, but there's too many advantages. They're too easy to find. It just doesn't feel exciting anymore if they're just like so commonplace and so ubiquitous, basically. Watching a 6'5", 200-something pound, 30-year-old man just out of nowhere say, "Hey, you guys want to see my monkey run?" and bolting around on all fours is elite TV. Thought the loved ones aspect of the reward was really beautifully done. Props to production. The disembodied voices at first was a little weird. Not sure why they did that. Totally agree. That was really creepy. The puppet lie by Omar was next level gameplay. Simultaneously preys on Mike's insecurities and exploits High's overconfidence. All hail King Omar. Not that stupid ass do or die twist. They're referencing that the do or die twist looks like it's going to be coming back next episode. And I am very, very not excited for it, because if somebody gets knocked out from it, it literally basically is just throwing out all of what Survivor is about. You vote off people. You don't just like randomly get taken out by a game of chance. So really hoping that we dodge a bullet with that, like we did last season, where it didn't affect things too much. But yeah, I think a lot of people are very wary and not really looking forward to the do or die twist next week. The show needs new immunity challenges. I don't begrudge the show for staying in Fiji if that's what they need to do to save money, but they have no excuse for recycling so many challenges. It makes the show feel stale. To start, they should just copy the best challenges from International Survivor. Totally agree with this. I don't know why we keep seeing the same challenges over and over. And even then, there were so many good old challenges that they don't bring back. Like this. Bring back some of the old school challenges at least. Sumo SC, the one where they race around an oval in the water. That's one of my favorites. They are fun. The memory games were fun too. And there was the other one called Touchy Subjects, where you kind of like talk about the other people. You like vote like who's the most powerful and who's like on the bottom and everything. And it's like so fun, and so it causes so much drama. So I don't know why they haven't brought that back yet. Touchy subjects. It's not new, but it's such a good challenge. Totally agree. Omar may be the most unique godfather we've seen. This person says Omar is a puppet master, not a godfather. Not like kind of Rob or maybe Tony. Definitely Rob, Boston Rob, is the biggest archetype for the godfather role. But Omar, I totally agree. He is a mastermind puppet master. Who is the best Survivor mob boss? Here we got Tony, we got Boston Rob, and then we got Omar. It's definitely Boston Rob for sure. I actually don't know who this guy is. Not totally up to date on all my Survivor seasons. Leaving Yul off this list when people called him the Godfather is tragedy. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. Yul should definitely be on the Godfather list. Yul. Survivor, Analogy Island. Analogies are tattoos on the body of Survivor. At a distance, they are fun and colorful. But when you get a good look at them, you realize that some are not very good tattoos, while others are great tattoos. It really comes down to the individual artist, and those are the castaways. I love Reddit. All right, that's most of the Reddit posts that I thought were interesting to talk about. Now let's look at the TV ratings. So TV ratings, again, we were at 5.722 last week, which had the controversial episode where there was a lot of discussion about race. And really, we did not have that much of a decrease, which I was worried about because a lot of people expressed a lot of discontent. But this week's had a viewership of 5.616, which is honestly great. I think it shows that people are invested in this cast. They're invested in the storylines that have been laid out so far. And just comparing this to Survivor Season 41, Season 41, Episode 10 had a viewership of 5.544. So we've actually slightly gone up in the viewership, which is a great sign. I mean, basically it's stable, but I'm definitely optimistic about seeing this result. Now let's move on to my Survivor 42 tier list. So obviously High was eliminated last round, so I'm going to move him off there. And who do we have? At S tier, I still have Omar. I'm not going to be moving him from here. I still think his edit is just so golden right now. The only thing is that it's so positive that you wonder if it's basically setting him up to fall off at some point. Lindsay, for me, I was considering actually bringing her up to S tier, but I'm going to keep her at A tier right now. Honestly, it's so borderline because there's a part of me that feels that potentially she has a higher winner potential than Omar. But for now, I'm going to keep her at A tier. Mike, still playing a fantastic social game, but he's getting manipulated. He's being seen being kind of emotional and just kind of getting played by other people. So for him, he's not going to be an A tier for me anymore. He is actually going to drop down to B tier with Drea. And Drea, I'm actually going to keep in B tier as well. She's still got plenty of advantages, but I really have not seen that much from her in the last few episodes. We don't really see much of the story from her perspective. So I feel like her as a winner pick is just definitely lower compared to Omar and Lindsay, who are really the top tier winner picks at this moment. Jonathan, at this point, I really see no way that he can win. He's just too far behind in terms of the strategy and really knowing what's going on. He may go to the final tribal, to be honest, but I don't think people are going to respect his game enough. And even then, I think at some point people will vote him out just because of his physical threat. I mean, he's just such a challenge threat. So voting him out, he's going to go down to D tier. And then, like I mentioned earlier, Marianne, I'm going to bring her up to C tier. She's got an idol now. She does still overall have a positive edit, but I really think her chances of winning are less than 5 to 10%. You know, the people in D tier are like less than 2%. Maybe C tier is like 5% chance of winning. Romeo, obviously still D tier. Basically no chance at winning for him. So this is my updated tier list after episode 10. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with this tier list? And what changes would you make? And also, what were your reactions to this episode? Please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching and peace.